Tonight, breaking news as we come on the air. NORAD confirming another flying object in the sky over Canada and an American aircraft shooting it down. Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau saying he ordered the takedown of an unidentified object that violated Canadian airspace and that he spoke with President Biden this afternoon. A U.S. aircraft firing the shot. This just 24 hours after a different unidentified object was shot down over Alaska. Operations underway to recover the debris, but Arctic weather conditions are making things difficult. The mystery tonight about where these objects are coming from, their capabilities and purpose. And just days after the U.S. military shot down that Chinese spy balloon over the Atlantic. Mary Alice Parks with late reporting from the White House. Also tonight, the death toll surpassing 28,000 following the devastating earthquake in Turkey and Syria, and one UN official saying that number could more than double. Still, new rescues 5 days after the quake hit. Today, a family pulled to safety after being trapped in the rubble for 129 hours. Marcus Moore on the ground in Turkey. The frightening airport collision involving a plane that was being towed and a bus at LAX. Several people taken to the hospital. The fourth dangerous incident on a U.S. tarmac in just weeks. Russia stepping up its offensive in Ukraine. In the east, block after block of homes obliterated by Russian bombs. Children being put in flak jackets. How U.S. intelligence is playing a crucial role in helping Ukraine fight back. Tom Sufi Burridge is in Ukraine. Disturbing video showing a teenage student assaulted and bullied in what appears to be a planned attack. Days later, she takes her own life. Her father blaming the school. Several students now facing charges. The Super Bowl security blitz. 40 different law enforcement agencies patrolling on the ground and in the air. The massive effort to keep the big game safe. Panic buying, why so many drivers lined up for gas in the West, and why one state declared a state of emergency. And America Strong tonight, the three-point buzzer shot, and why it meant the world to this high school senior.
From ABC News World Headquarters in New York, this is World News Tonight.
Good evening. Thanks so much for joining us on this busy Saturday night. I'm Whit Johnson. Several developing stories as we come on the air. The death toll from the devastating earthquake in Turkey and Syria now surpassing 28,000. But we begin tonight with breaking news. Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau confirming that he ordered the takedown of another unidentified object that violated Canadian airspace. Trudeau saying in a tweet that he spoke with President Biden this afternoon and that a U.S. aircraft was the one to fire the shot. This just 24 hours after U.S. fighter jets took similar action against a mysterious high-altitude object about the size of a small car flying 40,000 feet over Alaska. And less than a week after that massive Chinese spy balloon entered American airspace, crossed the continental U.S., and was then shot down off the South Carolina coast last Sunday. Recovery operations continue in Dead Horse, Alaska, but Arctic weather conditions are complicating efforts. The multiple incidents only adding to the mystery of where these objects are coming from and what they're capable of. We have late reporting tonight, and here's ABC's White House correspondent Mary Alice Parks leading us off from Washington.
Tonight, the North American Aerospace Defense Command, NORAD, confirms its radars and aircraft tracked a high-altitude object over northern Canada. Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau saying he ordered the object be taken down over the Yukon, saying Canadian and U.S. aircraft were scrambled and a U.S. F-22 successfully fired at the object. This news coming as urgent questions remain about what exactly the U.S. military shot out of the sky off the coast of Alaska yesterday. The Pentagon confirming the military and FBI are working together to recover what they can of the object and hopefully get some answers. But Arctic conditions, wind, snow, and little daylight making that operation treacherous. The White House says President Biden, on recommendation from military leaders, gave the order Friday morning for an F-22 fighter jet to shoot down the unidentified object before the government could confirm its owner, its origin, or its exact purpose.
We do not know who owns it, whether it's state-owned or corporate-owned or privately owned. We just don't know.
The object taken down off the very northeastern edge of Alaska. Officials telling us at one point it did travel over land in Alaska, but was headed back out to sea The White House move also praised by Alaska Senator Lisa Murkowski, who had blasted the Biden administration for not downing a suspected Chinese spy balloon that flew near her state 2 weeks ago.
I think the message was very important today to say any aspect of U.S. sovereign territory that is encroached upon, there's going to be consequences to it.
And off the coast of the Carolinas, operations underway as teams recover crucial parts of that suspected Chinese spy balloon. The Pentagon announcing they have found that massive technology bay that had hung below the balloon.
Mary Alice Parks joining us from the White House. And Mary Alice, you're also learning the U.S. has taken action against 6 Chinese entities tied to China's balloon program.
Yeah, that's right. 6 Chinese organizations, businesses, and research groups that essentially have been blacklisted from buying U.S. goods and technology. The administration says that these are organizations that were tied to China's aerospace program, like those balloons, and they are making it very clear that this move was in direct response to that suspected Chinese spy balloon entering and sailing across U.S. airspace.
And still so much to learn about this program. Mary Alice, thank you.